All right, so right now I'm making my coffee. What I recommend is do not drink your caffeine immediately after you've come back in. I typically wait 1 to 2 hours before I have my first cup of coffee, 1 to 2 hours after I finished my meditation, sun gazing, and breath work. So what that means is that I've been awake for a good 3 hours or so before I have my caffeine. Now, the coffee argument, which is coffee optimally healthy? Coffee, in my mind, is a biohacking supplement. And I use it when I need, and I don't use it when I don't need it. So I try very hard not to build a dependency on coffee or caffeine, because once you start doing that, you do not feel optimal. So if you feel like you're getting hooked to caffeine, just stop. Like, make it so that you only have it 5 days a week instead of 7. So with a lot of the compounds that I take in, whether it would be like mushrooms or caffeine or something, if I'm gonna be doing it every single day, I'll do like 5 out of 7 days. So I have a little time for my body to cycle through those compounds. The only compound that I currently use every single day is cannabis. So that is a fasted approved thing to have because I'm smoking it or dabbing it. I'm not eating it. If I eat it, then I'm breaking my fast. So now I've just been fucking talking the entire time, waiting for this water to boil. The temperatures that you put over these different plants releases certain different compounds at different temperatures. So, you know, being precise about this is the smartest and most efficient way to be consuming your coffee, your cannabis, your whatever it is. You know, even if you're cooking food, the temperature that you cook your broccoli and your animal products at makes it so that some nutrient will come out, some other nutrient won't come out. So what we got is a temperature gun. So this gun, like, literally just like will give you a digital reading of the temperature of your coffee. So while that's boiling, this is the coffee that I use. This is Bulletproof's black coffee. Bulletproof coffee is a brand. Bulletproof is a brand. So when you hear Bulletproof coffee and it's like with ghee and MCT or coconut oil and butter or whatever it is, most people think that's what Bulletproof coffee is. However, Bulletproof makes black coffee as well, and they lab test their coffee. They claim that they don't have mold in it. So this is pretty much the only coffee brand that I drink. This is like less than a cup that I'm putting in there. All right, so I have this stainless steel French press that I use. This thing was like $20 or $25 on Amazon. Get yourself a good quality French press if you're drinking coffee all the time, because those shittier ones just break. Get the stainless steel. So here's the coffee right here. I'll just take it, I pour it in. I have my water here that is awesome at about 200 degrees, and that's like, it's boiling water essentially. So I will pour that in. I just mix it up. You'll put this on top, and I'll just let it sit there for like 10 minutes while it steeps, and then I will have my cup of coffee. If you see, like, this is the cup of coffee I have. It's not a full cup, so I try to keep my coffee intake as medium low as possible. Again, I'm not trying to get hooked. I've been hooked on coffee before, and I don't want to have that feeling again. So I tread very carefully with my coffee consumption. Ultimately, it's my goal in the future to not be drinking coffee at all. So right now, I'm still drinking it because it helped me work at a really efficient and high level pace. So as far as the psychoactive drug goes, I love this shit right now. I'm gonna have this cup of coffee, and well, we can't forget the man behind the camera right now. He needs a cup of coffee too, so I got 2 of these. And yeah, we will drink this cup. This is pretty much like a half cup of coffee here. So this would be like, you know, real cup would be like this. So that's like what people consider like a cup of coffee, which is wild because people say like, oh, you could have like 5, like Dave Asprey even says it, like, bro, 5 cups of this shit? Like, are you serious? How do you feel after that, bro? Go do some breath work. So coffee is a fruit, but it has a lot of really good compounds. I'm not eating it as the fruit. I'm eating it as like the processed material. You know, it would be the same as like, well, I wouldn't go to a cannabis tree and like a plant and just like take the bud and just eat it and then expect it to do something. Granted, if you just did that, you would still get some really good micronutrient absorption, but you know, if you're trying to get those psychoactive effects, you have to take it through a processing, which is drying it and curing it and all of these different things before you could actually smoke it. So, you know, it's a similar mindset, but coffee has a lot of good polyphenols, flavonoids, so it's like essentially the flavors in the coffee or the cannabis has certain nutrient profiles. Yeah, I just really want my coffee. It's been like hours too that we've been like doing this. So having my first half cup here. Again, this is a intense drug, so like all psychoactive drugs, just don't abuse it. And if you are gonna abuse it, make sure that you balance enough on the other side so that your abuse can be balanced with the mind and body exercises necessary to make your mind and body one unit. Because if you're just drinking like caffeine over and over and over and you don't go and do some breath work or drink some water or be mindful about what you're doing right now, then you're just gonna be, it's gonna be like a wild drug binge until you have your meal. And since I'm only doing 1 meal a day, I'm barely getting any nutrients. So this coffee is going to flood through my system very fast. So after I have this coffee, I'm going to make my apple cider vinegar drink that I drink throughout the day. And the reason that I love just sipping on the apple cider vinegar is because, most importantly, it balances my insulin levels out. Yeah, technically coffee or apple cider vinegar, it's not a true fast, because a true fast would just be with water and nothing else. However, the way that I look at my fasting is that I'm biohacking. You know, I try to be the modern caveman instead of just a caveman. You know, we have to take the evolutionary mindset that was given to us over thousands of years of trial and error with humans and turn that into something more optimal. So while this technically isn't a true fast, this is something that can take your fasted state to a higher level. Now let's drink this fucking... One sip of coffee and the caffeine hits you. So that's the awesome thing about caffeine as a psychoactive drug, is that it is like immediately affects your body. Within a few seconds, you'll start feeling the effects. You'll notice I compare cannabis and coffee to each other very often, and that's typically because I notice that there are a lot of similarities between the two, whether it's you know, psychoactive effects or the growing process. They're just both plants I love a lot. So we're gonna have this cup of coffee and then just go about our day. So there you go, Ben.